Good morning, Rabbi Sai. LeAliyat Nishmat Chaim Elefant. Rabbi Sai, we have a tremendous guest here. Rabbi Eli Beer of United Hatzalah. Yishkoyach, Rabbi Eli. Wow. He didn't come to promote his book, but since it happens to be on my stender here, and Rabbi Nachman Seltzer right across. Wow, we never had this. You know what we need? Rabbi Grossman also one day, huh?
He used to come to your Daf Yomi.
Why not?
Yeah, he should.
So listen to this, Rabbi said. What happened was I've been begging Nachman for 5 years to get one guy to come to the shir, and he said, "You know what? I got you a guy. Here he is. Finally, Rabbi Nachman Yishkoyach. Wow, well done, well done. What a guy! It was worth waiting for 5 years."
This guy
is this what?
It's Eli 2 days or just one?
Yehуда.
Yeah, you have to get called off. Yehуда.
Eliezer Yehуда. They call him Eliezer Yehуда.
This guy that I recruited has 6,500 guys that he could get.
That he can recruit. I say we make it a policy. You cannot join United Hatzalah unless you do the daf. What do you say?
We have here a couple of volunteers. I couldn't find
what a
parking.
couple.
Every car here is Hatzalah United Hatzalah.
It's true. It's true. There's a lot of them. There's Sharfman, Givaldik. Okay. What does he do for you? Because he told me he's like a top guy there. Is it true? What is he? Let's hear.
The dispatch. He's in charge of dispatch.
In charge of dispatch.
122.
He came. What?
His job to make sure. His job is to make sure that we get there in 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
Like the name of the.
Be'ez Hashem will have a daf, a 90-second daf. What do you say? Givaldik. Okay. We have Amud Beis in 90 seconds. Givaldik. Okay.
There's the line inside.
Yeah, what?
You can see the line inside.
I should read it right now?
Yeah.
It's from Eli to Eli.
En Kamoy Eli. From Eli to Eli. En Kamoy Eli. Nachman. Givaldik. Givaldik. Okay. Dear Eli, this shocked me when I read this. I don't know if you remember me, but I'm the kid whose father took away his smartphone and he traded it for a flip phone. With all the extra time, I decided to start doing the Arvei Pesachim review, but then schoolwork got hard and I said I'll do the Perek and finish Shas in the near future, but Hashem had other plans. The last daf I did in Arvei Pesachim was 107, and Hashem decided that I should win. He's the guy that won yesterday. To keep going and not give up. Nothing is ever too hard. He gave it up. His father, he gave up the smartphone. He said, your Talmud, Saul Seton. Beautiful. I thought his mamish beautiful. He's about to quit, and then he wins. Some of the chevra at Anon Ymous' wedding a couple nights ago, bonding over MDY and showing their excitement with the chassan. Also in the video, Gili Bar Chaim and Simcha Firestone, that's Mendy's favorite guy, and Jake Manis from Herzliya. Check out Simcha Firestone's fire when he says good morning. Check this out. Let's pause for a second. Good. Going from, look at this. This is one MDY Simcha Chasana, and check out. It runs the gamut. It's mamish like United Hatzalah. The only thing we don't have here, we don't have cousins learning the daf. But cousins. You have a lot of cousins in the thing.
I can bring a few cousins.
You could?
Ask Dave, he could bring that dispatch. A Shabbos cousin.
Shabbos cousins. But anyways, we have everything here. We have these guys, and then we have the Streimels and the black hats with the beard and without a beard. We have everything. This is Reb Gedalia Miller's chasana with Peretz Chaim Levin and Yisrael Shalitsky. Rebelli said that the body bag sag on the plane may be a chil Hashem. Many people seem confused. Bekitzer, what happened? I got 2 emails about this, that it's not a chil Hashem. They're right, in a way. I'm going to argue with them a little bit and I'll explain. If you're doing something that's Torah and halacha, there is no chil Hashem. Correct. So therefore, they're saying that putting a plastic bag over yourself on an airplane is not a chil Hashem because you're doing Torah and halacha. And I'm saying, don't go on that flight. Try to get another flight. Go to Jordan. That's the argument. But, huh? According to Rabbi Schoenberg, he wasn't sealed according to halacha. Okay. I'm just saying to do. Let's say. I'm just saying, let's say a guy gets up on a plane with a live rooster and he starts going, Zeh Chalifasi. It's a halach, it says. That's not a Chil Hashem? Okay, whatever. Exactly. Good morning, Rebelli. Baruch Hashem in Manchester, we had this incentive. If you recruit 2 people to the shir, you will receive a stender from Shimi Leafman, sponsored by Yisrael Kornbluth. Baruch Hashem, I literally just put a few statuses on my WhatsApp status this past Thursday evening, and by Friday afternoon I had 2 people signed up for the Masechet Saita. Here is his brand new stender. No hustling, literally just the power of using WhatsApp status. Thanks so much again for everything you do in the Geshmak Shir Daily. Eli Goldschmidt from Manchester, since Nidarim. And MDY, some guy with the email MDY won today's raffle. Tomorrow, Westside, 2 major raffles for anybody that does Chazar and Arvei Pesachim. $200 plus $200 for the 2 winners. So this $400 raffle tomorrow. I love the way how people are just part of the Chabur. They're giving money. They say, hey, we love this idea. Here, continue with it. Here's another $200. And another guy got up and said another $200. This is my first email. I'm a Talmud on and off since Beitzov. But for the past few Masechtas, I've been consistent. David Zlatnik introduced me. I don't know if you remember. David Zlatnik is the guy that came with 30 Gemaras to his friend Simcha and gave them all out in one night to Hatzalah guys. Oh, listen to this, Eli. David Zlatnik is Hatzalah guy in New York, in Brooklyn. He decided he has to get more Hatzalah guys to join, and he came with a stack of 30 Gemaras, his own, that he bought by himself, and he started giving them out at a sim. He made a speech at a sim, I think it was, that maybe it was Solkowitz, and he got 30 guys to join. Within 2 or 3 days, they filled up a 250-person WhatsApp, and they had 350 Hatzalah members that joined the Daf back then in Megillah and Tainus. Unfortunately, a lot of them dropped off. We're trying to get them back for Saita, because Saita is an amazing Masechta, and it's starting in 10 days. 10 days. Easy, Geshmak, Agadata, stories. It's unbelievable Masechta. It's only 48 days. We're hoping to get a lot of those Hatzalah guys back. So, Hatzalah is also Torah. I met about Tshuva tonight, who's never learned Gemara. This is for you guys to figure out. Basically, he's saying, he saw me talking to Shalom Rand on Shalom Rand's status. And I was talking to these yeshiva guys who left yeshiva and don't learn anymore because they only learn iyun. He says, look, there's a lot of Bali Tshuva that are intimidated by the daf. And maybe I could do some sort of shir. The basic idea is what a daf means, what a amud is. How come the Gemara doesn't start on Daf Aleph, it starts on Daf Beis, Tana Rabbanan, whatever, a basic thing. Okay, one day when we have time or somebody else can do it. Our school surely has this in print. Yisrael Brody, Yishkayach. Fine. If I recruit my brother for Saita, could I also get a free Gemara ask Ben Yom and Teichman? Yes, it doesn't matter. You could recruit your mother, your father, your brother. The Koilel, Nachman didn't smile on that one. The Koilel, Ananas from Lakewood. The second sponsor of the Koilel, Reuven Klein, in honor of my daughter, Aliza, becoming a Kala, to Tzvi Chaim Nedo from Toronto. By the way, somebody donated close to $9,000 yesterday to the Koilel for Pesach. So I want to thank that person tremendously. He gave what, like $750 per Koilel. $750 per Koilel for Pesach. We're starting to take money for Pesach, Rabbi. It's coming up soon. And somebody donated chicken. Should I say who it is? And it's somebody in this room that sells a lot of chickens. Who was that? Oh! Shkoyach Tzadik. Anonymous from Benny's Poultry. Ooh. All right, Rabbi Sai, I'm very proud to announce that Yosef Biliak just donated meat for every guy in the koilel. Wow. Benny did the chicken, he did the meat. You'll give him a special price, no? I love these guys that offer other people's money to give to other people. Yeah, why don't you double Yosef Biliak's salary? I will. You just pay it, and everything will be fine. The Masechet is sponsored by Maaser. The Masechet is sponsored by LeAliyat Nishmat Chaim Elefant by Anon Ymous. The Paris Achoidish, LeAliyat Nishmat Moshe ben Yehuda. I wonder if that's going to stay in today's video. He's the editor. The second sponsor of the month, Anon Ymous from Flatbush. We continue Maaser, Bracha, and Clarity. Third sponsor, Landy Family, LeAliyat Nishmat Chaim Yishעי. Fourth sponsor, LeAliyat Nishmat Chaim Elefant by his friends, Chaim ben Ya'akov Shmuel, by his Westside friends. Fifth sponsor of the month, LeAliyat Nishmat Zechariah ben Moshe. First sponsor of the day, Moshe Hoffman. LeAliyat Nishmat Pearl Bas Shmuel Moshe. Yahrzeit is today. First Yahrzeit, Chof Ches Adar. Does anybody know what Chof Ches Adar is? It a Yontif today? Is it a special day today? Anybody? No one. Shachar David for Westside of his father Rafi David, Rafal Chaim ben Sadia, and the art of the month for complete refuah for Chaim Tzvi ben Leah. Rabbi Yisai Soita starts in 10 days. 10 days. Chap your friends. Lisamed Adam Riacha. It's just as important to save your friend ruchnius wise as it is to save him in Hatzalah. If you see your friend struggling in the street, he's unconscious because he hasn't opened up a sefer in 10 years. It's your job to give him mouth to mouth and give him Torah. Today is a very special day. It's the 28th of Adar. So the Gemara tells us that today there was a very big decree that Klal Yisrael couldn't learn Torah and couldn't keep Shabbos and Milah. And today's the day that they broke that. They went and they convinced the Romans, I think it was, to let them off the hook, and they made a yontif. The Gemara calls this a yontif today. Rishus HaRabim for Shabbos is 16 amos wide, and according to many people, it has to be, we know about this, 600,000 people have to go through the Rishus HaRabim. Does that apply to Tumah in a Rishus HaRabim? When we say Tumah b'Rishus HaRabim is, if you have a suffix in Tumah in Rishus HaRabim, Sveikoi Tahar, do these halachas apply? 16 amos wide, 600,000 people. We say Tumah Rishus HaYachid, if you have a suffix, you don't know if it's Tumah or not, we got to take the high road, we have to be Machmer. What is Tumah Rishus HaRabim? Anybody know here? Besides you two that learn in the Kailo Yishkoyach, how do you know? You learned it, so you don't count either. Okay, so you have 3 people in the room that know. And you also know. Good. But if you don't know, it's a tremendous chiddush. And the chiddush is that when it comes to Rishus HaRabim for Tumah, it's a completely different thing. It's not 16 amos, it's not 600,000 people. 3 people. If you have 3 people standing in this little room right over here, it's a Rishus HaRabim. B'negeh to Tumah. Why? Because we learn it from Saita, as we're going to see today. Daf Yomi Amud Beis by brand new Mishnah, sponsored for our very dear friend Avi Mandelbaum, who's been on Zoom for 4 years, every single day. I'm watching Pesachim now, different shiurim Pesachim, and I keep on talking about Avi, and he fought with me one day in Daf Beis about science, and he's been there forever. He is conscious, I think, responding a little bit, and we wish him a tremendous refuah shleima. Avram Menashe ben Chana Bracha. Omer Rebbe Kiva, Dante L'Fnei Rebbe Eliezer, Ma Imetzim Kisoiro Sheinem Etam Adam Ba'ayel. He says a kavachomer. Makes a lot of sense as kavachomer. You have a tiny piece of barley. Reb Shlomo pointed out to me that the barley that I brought to shear is pearl barley. Basically, it's shaved off of all its outside exterior thing, and then we put in the chalk. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a larger shear. Fine, whatever the shear is, but it's kind of small. This big, okay? Not this big, this big. If etzem kesaira, a bone, a tiny small bone the size of barley, you put it in a room, it's not large enough. We said, in order to be metama, you need roi v'akav. And for a nazir to be megaleach, you need a chatzi kav. It doesn't have the properties and the ability to give off tumah. Nevertheless, if a nazir touches it, if he touches the tiniest piece of bone, he has to shave his entire head and start all over again, right? A nazir who touches a tmei mace, or a mace, a bone of a mace, he has to start all over. He was a nazir for 15 years. Redo, start all over. Go, shoots and ladders, whatever you want to call it, he starts from the beginning. Valmasoi, and even if it was on a mattress, and he lifted up the bed from the bottom, he has to start all over, he has to shave. Revi'is dam, here comes Rebbe Kiva and argues on everybody that if you have a tiny vial of blood that only consists of a revi'is, what do we say revi'is is? 2 to 3 ounces, whatever, a small amount. The amount that we drink on Pesach. Pesach is all about dam, right? The dam. Okay. Shumetam adam ba'ayel einoy din shia nazir migaleach al magav al masah. Says Rebbe Kiva that if a tiny piece of barley, if you touch it, you become tameh. So certainly if you touch a cup of blood, or you touch the blood that's a revi'is, which has so much power. Anybody that walks into the room becomes tamei just because there's a little bit of blood in that cup. So certainly if you touch the blood, you should become tamei. Not in oil, outdoors. You touch blood, you're in Hatzalah, and you're on a call, and the guy Nebuch doesn't make it, and you touch a revius of the blood, and the person is a Nazir, he should have to shave. Why does everybody argue with Rebbe Kiva? Omar Li, so his Rebbe told him, Rebbe Eliezer, Maza Kiva, what are you doing here? Ein danim kan mikavachomer. This is not a place to make a kavachomer. So the Gemara will explain. Another Rebbe, Omar Li, Yafa Marta. Great kavachomer. It's a good svara. Everything is great. Elokein Omru Halacha. This is Halacha l'Moshe Sinai. So you can't invoke a kavachomer in Halacha Moshe Sinai. It is what it is. Whatever Moshe Rabbeinu got in our Sinai, that's it. Not more, not less. Yes, it doesn't make sense to you. Yes, you have a big problem. How's it possible? Ravi Saddam creates a tumah of oil. You don't even have to touch it. You walk into the room. You're tamei. So certainly if you touch it, you should be tamei because etzem kesayra, which doesn't have the power to make a whole room tamei through oil, if you touch it, you become tamei. So certainly blood. Tell them it's rabbeim. It's not a good kavachomer. We don't do kavachomers like this. This is halacha l'Moshe Sinai. Did Rebbe Kiva accept what his rabbeim told him? No. It's a pelaplaim. His Rebbe, two of them. You don't do a kavachomer. I say you do it, and that's it. I'm sticking to my guns, and that was it. Ibarlu. So ask the Gemara Daf Nun Zayin Amud Aleph. Etzim Kesayir halacha. Which one did Rabbi Shua mean that's halacha l'Moshe Sinai? Is it that the small tiny bone, if you touch it, you become tamei? Etzim Kesayir halacha. Or revius hadam kavachomer. Is it because, check out this pasuk, Kol yimei haziroi laHashem, you look at the screen, you can see it, al nefesh meis lo yavai. The pasuk is talking about al nefesh meis. What is al? It doesn't say beh, that he touched the mace. He's hovering, he put his head, he's looking to see if he has a pulse. He went like this, he looked over him, and then he got hit by what we call oil. So the whole pasuk is talking about oil mace, a roof over a dead person, not touching a dead person. So for you to tell me that if you touch a piece of barley, a bone the size of a piece of barley, you become tamei, that's not in the pasuk. So what is it? That's halacha l'Moshe Sinai, special halacha that Moshe Rabbeinu received directly from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's not in the Torah. So maybe that's the pshat. Maybe the etzem kesa'ira is halacha l'Moshe Sinai. You wanted to make a kavachomer from something that I don't even know. It's halacha. Excuse me. It's halacha l'Moshe Sinai, and I want to learn it from Revi's Dam. Revi's Dam kavachomer, and the powerful thing is the Revi's Hadam. Not the Revi's Hadam is the halacha l'Moshe Sinai. Etzem kesa'ira is halacha l'Moshe Sinai. And you cannot make a kavachomer when one of the things is halacha l'Moshe Sinai. Now, take a look at this one. This is a pasuk we're familiar with. From here we learn Revi's Dam, but it says "V'akol nafshois meis lo yavos." The Gemara always tells us that to sustain a human being, you need a revius. V'akol nafshois is two. So I would think that you need two revius. So that you're enough, that it's enough to use one revius dam, that's halacha l'Moshe Sinai. From the pasuk, it seems like you need two times a revius. Nafshois, two. One nefesh, what contains a nefesh? The Gemara always tells us, one revius is enough to sustain a human being, whatever that means. So when the Torah says nafshois, so I think that in other words, to create tumah out of blood, you need, I call nafshois, two times a revius, lo yave lo yave tama, tumah. So how do I know this idea of one revius? One revius is halacha l'Moshe Sinai. Okay, so the question is etzem kesayir halacha l'Moshe Sinai, or revius is halacha l'Moshe Sinai? The bottom line is, one of the things is halacha l'Moshe Sinai, all your kavachomer fly out the window, or the revius dam, halacha, etzem kesayir kavachomer, v'indon kavachomer me'halacha. Tashma, and I'll prove it to you. It says mefurish in the Brisa, etzem kesayir halacha. What's the halacha l'Moshe Sinai? Etzem kesayir. Or revius dam kavachomer. What else is halacha l'Moshe Sinai when it comes to the tumah? Basically, the shiurim, chatzikav, all the stuff that have to do with shiurim is halacha l'Moshe Sinai. Tashma, etzem kesayir halacha or revius dam kavachomer. It says straight out that the etzem kesayir is what Moshe Rabbeinu received in our Sinai, not the halacha about blood. And therefore, Rebbe Kiva's Kavachomer, they argue with him and they say he's not a good Kavachomer. Hadran Allah Kain Gadol, Hadran Allah Kain Gadol, Hadran Allah Kain Gadol. Brand new Perek, which is a brand new Masechta. You can start here if this is your first day here. Start now. Shnei Nazir. Shalom Aleichem Echad Reisi Echad Mikem Shenitma. Ve'ini Yudea Iz Mikem. Here you have a picture. You have Dr. Factor, it's right over there, the back of him. He's looking at two Nazir. We have the famous Rabbi Turgeman and Lit. And also I noticed here that he put the Chicago Siyum, which I forgot to mention. There's a sign for the Chicago Siyum. We have, for Chicago, it's amazing. We already have 60 people signed up and 8 people flying in from other cities. So that's very, very impressive so far. Huh?
RBS also.
Sign up for RBS. It's all on mdycm.com. There are not too many places there. What else did they say they have? They had a few others. I don't remember. They have 4 or 5 siyum so far. Okay, RBS. There's going to be a siyum when? On Tuesday. And I'll be there. Maybe more for more than 20 minutes. I'm not catching a flight that night. Yeah. The siyum is, well, we're starting site in 10 days. So in 8 days from now is the siyum. Exactly a week from today, Tuesday. Well, next Tuesday. Right, today's Tuesday, so next week. All right, rabbis, here goes. There's a skull. You see a skull on the path over there? Says Dr. Factor to these two guys. I noticed that one of you touched the skull. Right now, I don't recognize which one it is. What did they say? They don't say anything. They're quiet because if they argue with him, if they say no, you're wrong. We never touched it. It was your mistake. We saw it and we went around it. He's a eidechad. He's not believed. So what do? We have a big problem here. So, shkoyach. What we do is as follows. We know that there's 2 possibilities. Each one has 2 possibilities. Either he became tameh, or he didn't become tameh. If he became tameh, he has to bring the karbanis on the left. He brings 1 asham and 2 birds. He has to shave his head and start all over again. So let's assume, very simple case, they took upon themselves the minimum nazirus of 30 days. So they wait the 30 days until the 30 days is over, and then they shave. If I'm tahar, I have to shave anyways. But if I'm tahar, I have to bring karbanas. Here, so I bring the ones on the right. Ayla, chatas, and a shlamim. If I'm tameh, I'll bring the ones on the left. So what do? The 2 of us together, we go ahead and we purchase all these 6 karbanas, and we stipulate, we make it tonight. If I'm tameh, I'm bringing it because I'm tameh, and I'm bringing the ones on the left. And if you're tameh, you bring the ones on the left. If I'm tar, I bring the ones on the right. And if you're tar, you bring the ones on the right. So you make it nice tonight, very, very simple. But what if one of them is tameh? He has to start all over again, and bring the karbanas again, and shave again. So that's what they do. They both wait another 30 days. They shave again and bring 1 set of karbanas, the set of tahara. One of them is tar, one of them is not tameh now. Only one of the 2 needs to bring another set. So they bring it as a partnership, as a shutfus, and they bring the 3 karbanas. What's the major problem? How could they both shave the second time? The second time, one of them is shaving for no reason. And he's being over and Issa Deraisa of Baal Takif, shaving the whole head with the pace and everything. The Gemara is going to say an answer you're not going to like. Basically, the Gemara is going to say that we're not talking about 2 men, we're talking about women. Or Ktanim. Okay. We had the same Shiloh yesterday when we were learning that.
They didn't know if they touched the skull.
No! They're walking, they're looking over there.
Didn't see it?
You never stepped on something that doesn't smell very good when you're walking? Sometimes you walk and you don't realize. They kicked the little skull. They didn't have. Who's looking for a skull? They're looking, they're schmoozing, they're looking at the airplane, and they kicked it. Yeah, he's lit. Shnei Nazirim. Says the Mishnah. Shnei Nazirim shomar lehen. Echad reisi echad mikem shenit maveni yudei mikem. I saw one of you. There was the famous Maaser. There was a Rebbe that asked his Hasidim. They said about the Satmar Rav. He said, "You want to hear a Hasidic Maaser?" So he said, "Yeah, okay." There was a robber and his partner, who's the chef. The robber went out, robbed people, and when he came back, he always had a great meal. It was a partnership. Says the robber to himself one day, what do I need this guy? Look at all this money I make. I have to divide it 50-50. So the robber went and killed the chef. He didn't realize that the chef had the same plan. So when he's done killing him, he went and he ate the soup, and there's poison in the soup. He dropped dead. Says the Rebbe, this is a Hasidic Maaser. So why? He says, because if nobody saw it, how do you know this story ever happened? So over here, somebody did see it happen. Claims he saw it. He claims that there was a little skull on the way. Many days we came. They bring both sets of karbanos, and each one says, if I'm tamei, karban tumah shali, the three karbanos, the two birds in the carbon are mine, and you get to bring the three animals. Only one of us is tamei, one of us is tar. So if I'm the one, karban tara shali, karban tumah shachah. So we'll switch. Meanwhile, we bring all six karbanos, and whatever goes. Taisus says you don't really need to say it, it just happens automatic. Okay. Then when they're done with that, they have to count another 30 days because maybe one of them was Tameh. And the process is, if one of you are Tameh, you have to wait another 30 days. Why do you have to wait 30 days? Because you have to grow the hair for 30 days. Now you just bring three animals, a shlamim, chatas, ayla, the ones on the right. And each one stipulates, Tais says, you don't have to stipulate it. This is what's going on in their head. So they're saying, the first set that we brought 30 days ago, the tumah was for you, the tara was for me, vizek carbon, and today, 30 days later, tarasi, I don't need it. Sorry, I was tameh, so today I'm bringing the tahar. But if I was tar back then, so then 30 days ago, since I was tar, so I brought the tar animals, you brought the tameh for the tameh, and today, since you were tameh, you have to bring tar. Okay, end the story. Stipulate. Yeah, you can make it tonight. Says the Gemara, we saw in the Mishnah, I saw you, but one of you is Tameh many days and became Tameh. V'amai. As the Gemara, how do I know this idea that if you have a suffix about a tumah, it's Tameh? Misaita. See, many times, the Gemara, right before we start another Masechta, hints to us. It's a trailer for Saita. That what? A husband tells his wife, I don't want you talking to that man. She doesn't listen to him. She goes into a private place. We don't know what happened over there. The private place is Rosh Hashanah. How many people went into that Rosh Hashanah? 2. So I learn this idea. And what happens? The Torah calls it, whatever. Yoshi did it on that side, fine. Look at the pasuk. V'nela meini isha v'nistera. She went and she secluded herself with that man. V'hinetma. She becomes tameh. We don't know if she became tameh. Nobody saw it. Nobody witnessed it. All we saw is that she went in there. But the Torah calls her tameh. Why? Because we have a suffix. And when you have a suffix and it's in a Rosh Hashanah, suffix b'Rosh Hashanah tameh. Here it says it in the pasuk. Masoita boil v'nevelas. There's only 2 people, a man and a woman. I've called suffix tuma b'Rosh Hashanah going to get betray. So there's only 2 people. Aval hacha, shnei nazirim. Over here, how many people do you have? Check out the picture. We have 3. If you want to learn this halacha from Saita, it's not similar to Saita. Saita is only a man and a woman. It's 2 people. Over here we have 3 people. Shnei nazirim v'hai the koy gabeho not lasa haveli safek tumah b'shus harabim v'chol safek tumah b'shus harabim svegitar. Since we don't know who exactly touched the skull, who touched the body, or whatever the tumah was, they should both be tar. They shouldn't have to do anything. Westside, amazing halacha. Moshe Sternbach says, listen to this. This is great for you, for Donnie, who's up north. Oh, I forgot to show the video. Okay, no, Donnie Fine he sent me a video. He's on a bike ride for gears. With I don't know how many people. A lot of people are out there. They're up north. Hill's there, right? Hill's also there. They're in the Lavi Hotel. Avi Gargir is there. And they set up food. And he took a video. He showed me a video. I have to show it to you tomorrow. They set up a whole tent of food. And you take a look. There's a tree overhanging the tent and overhanging a cemetery. He says, I can't go eat there now. And he thanks me. He says, because of you, I can't eat there. Had I not learned this yesterday, I wouldn't have known. Yeah. Actually, that would have been amazing. Jumping around a plastic bag with we're doing. He learned everything. Gewaldic. Taking Gemara to reality. Says Rav Sternbach, you're driving in the Galil, and there's a lot of roads there that have they built them over dead people, like Kiryam Abed Shemesh. What do? He came up with a great chap. What do? I don't know where the dead person is. So it's a suffix tumah, but is it Rishus Harabim? No. You put 3 people in the car. If you have 3 people in a car, it turns into Rishus Harabim. You have to take it to reality. 3 people is Rishus Harabim. So now, if you hold that a car is a Rishus HaYachid, I have nothing to do with your car, we're all individual Rishus HaYachids driving down the highway, then put 2 more people in there. Carpool, yeah. The guy says, okay, I got to my destination, let me out. He says, no, I can't let you out, I need you here. You'll go out where I go out. Fine. So the answer is, check this out. Not this, the next one. Oh, you see how far away he is? That's the picture. The picture is, I saw something happen. I know that he touched that person. By now, I don't know. I can't differentiate between lit and Rapturgiman. Now, if you have a suffix tumah, b'shus hayachid, if it's a suffix tumah, ask Taisvas, im toimar, im kein yavi kol echad carbon tumah vaday. The kol suffix tumah b'shus hayachid, suffering with truma. Both of them are vadayim now. Suffix tumah b'shus hayachid. Says Taisvas, beautiful. V'shloimar, the legmir v'soita el davar she'ef shal yos k'soita. It needs to be similar to soita. The guy only saw one of the 2 become tamei, so you can't force both of them to become tamei because it has to be like soita. By soita, it's possible she became tameya. Over here, it's impossible that both became tamei. Beautiful Taisus. Says the Gemara. Omer Ravashi Daikanami, I can prove it. Daf Nun Zayin Amud Beis Diktani Ve'ein Yedeya Ezimikem. So it seems like from the Lashon, look, he wasn't close enough to differentiate. Shmamino. In other words, Taisus explains, it seems like he never knew. Many day I never knew, not now, a month later. Then I didn't know. We just turned to Nunzayin of the Beis, sponsor Atzlacha, Ve'erlei ben Aliza Simcha Sheina Masha, Aliza Simcha Sheina Masha, Bat Bracha, Latzlacha for the Magid Shir, the members of the HBA Group, and their families. Amen. Megachim and Mevim. Asked the Gemara the question that we already mentioned. We said the teretz already, so we're very familiar. How could they shave on the second time around? Dilma laft meiminon. The Kayin said, I saw one of you, not the Kayin, the witness saw one of the 2 of you touching Tumah, so they shaved. That was okay the first time, because even if I'm tar, I shaved because I'm tar. You're tamei, you have to shave because you're tamei. The second time around, they wait 30 days and they shave again. One of them is shaving illegally. One of them was done with his Nazir 30 days ago. How in the world can you take a razor blade to his head and shave off everything 0-0? It's Issa Deraisa. We're talking about either a woman or a katan. What kind of katan are we talking about? A mufla samach leish.
He asked when he's going to be a grown-up, he has to have.
Oh, so that's the Gemara coming up now. Can you shave a katan or not? And that's the sugya. But we're talking about a katan who accepted upon himself Nazirus. Now a 6-year-old cannot accept upon himself Nazirus. We're talking about a mufla hasamach leish. We're talking about he's in the 12th year of his life. Says the Gemara, perhaps, and we discuss this also. Maybe we're talking about that he shaved the entire head, and we hold that if you shave the entire, Hakafa means just shaving off the payas, rounding out from here to here. But if I do the entire head, maybe it's not asur. Now, even if you hold that it's not asur, I want to point this out. Very, very important. Think about this for a second. Let's say it's not asur to do the whole head. You take a razor blade and you shave the payas. And 3 minutes later, you get to the top and you shave the top. You're over or not over? If you hold hakafa kol harosh, lo yishma hakafa. It's not asur to do the whole head. The answer is you're over. Because at the moment that you shaved off the payas, you're over. The fact that you continued on with the haircut 5 minutes later doesn't help you.
The other order would be okay.
The other way would be okay if you hold lo yishma hakafa. You start the entire head. Now you have just payas left. Boom, you shaved off the payas, and it's equal to the rest of the head, lo yishma hakafa. You don't see the rounding out of the payas. That's if you hold lo yishma hakafa. But we paskin shma hakafa. And as we said in the other sugi, even if you hold lo yishma hakafa, it's a derabanan. Okay. Maybe that's the pshat. Says Gemara, since Shmuel never mentioned that, he must hold that it's also even if you shave the whole head.
We want to be marketed, everyone. If we would have said the opposite, then we would
have but
it's not a riot, it's not. It's L'Kula Alma we want to say.
But we're going in Shmuel. Why didn't Shmuel say it? Says the Gemara, the Seifa means in Daf Nun Tes. Okay, so Rabbi Yisai, I don't want to scare you again, but we're not going to go into the sugya. We're just going to mention it very, very quickly. This was yesterday's sugya. The Olam guys seem to get it. I'm happy. The feedback that I got was that it was very understood for most people. Some people not, but we have another shot at it, and maybe we'll try to improve the charts if that's even possible. Okay. What happened was a guy is a Safek Mitzayra, and also a Safek Tameh, and he's a Nazir. He has 3 things going for him. We said he needs to shave his head 4 times. 2 times to get rid of the tzaras with 30-day intervals. It's always every 30 days he takes another haircut. The first 2 are going to be for the tzaras. The third one is going to be to get rid of his tumah, and the fourth one is going to be to get rid of his regular naziros. Asked the Gemara a question, and that was the question, the obvious question then. How could this guy take 4 haircuts? What if he was never tameh and he was never a mitzayra? So the first haircut he took was for his tahara, as you see. It could be for tahara, it could be for anything. And the next one's going on is he's shaving his head for no reason. Okay. Says the Gemara, that's what is going on. He was also a Safek Mitzayra and a Safek if he touched a dead person. It takes him 60 days to get rid of his tzaras. And once he gets rid of his tzaras, he can eat kachim. And we explained so beautifully, not beautifully that I explained, but he mentioned that each haircut doesn't do anything for the next thing. So if I shave my head from Mitzayra, it doesn't work for Tumah and for Naziros. That's why I have to get 4 separate haircuts. How could he do it? He's shaving his head. Omar Shmuel, on that Shmuel said, So going to a beautiful sugi here. Can a woman shave a katan, etc.? I just want to show you the end of the sugya so you don't get scared. It's a very, very simple thing. Basically, Rav Huna and Rav Ada argue on each other on 2 halachas, and they say the exact opposite of each other. Rav Huna is of the opinion that it goes by the barber, and Rav Ada Bar Hava says it goes by the person getting the haircut. So it's a big, huge nafkamina. A woman who is not in the parsha of shaving, she doesn't have a beard, so she's not in the beard, she's not in the payas. So she could shave anybody she wants. She could shave a man, she could shave a child, she could shave anything, because she's not in the parsha. The man cannot get a haircut from a woman. That's a different story. You can't go to a woman barber and say, hey, shave me, because you have the isser. She does not have an isser. The big question I had, in Baruch Hashem, I found it in the Hebrew Art Scroll. I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm very excited about it. Maybe you could help me out here. How could a woman is allowed to give a haircut to a man, but the man can't get a haircut. Isn't she over on Lifnei Iver? How could she give a haircut to a man? She's over on Lifnei Iver. I asked my chavrusa, and usually he in a second. When I saw him fumping, I knew it was a good question. Then I found the Rabbi Kiva asked the question, so I'm okay. But Rav Ada says a woman cannot shave anybody else, but anybody could shave a katan. And Rav Huna says it's usher to shave a katan. So let's see how it goes. Omer Rav Huna, makiv is a katan arei uchayev. You are not permitted. That's what Rav Nachman was saying. You're not. How could you shave a katan? A katan, eventually he's going to be a gadol. He should be in the parish, just like you're not allowed to give a katan nevelas. You can't let him be Michal Shabbos. So listen to this. This is amazing. If you don't learn Gemara, you would never know this. In those days, everybody used to shave their kids. There used to be 0 kids going to cheder. No, none of this pays business. Shave. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't see it anywhere, but maybe because of lice. It was such a prevalent problem. Shave the kid. So he asks him, who shaves your kids? I'm assuming you have children and somebody shaves your children. You're telling me that it's also to shave your child, so who does it? Omar le Chayva. My wife. Great name. Chayva. The reason why I'm saying it is because when I read the name, I was like, is this on purpose? So a lot of times the name has to do with the person. And in fact, the Ben Yehuda says, yeah, that's why he's saying the word Chayva. That was her name. So he says, Tikbarinu Chayva lebonel. Some read it with a question mark. Some say it as a statement. She should bury her children. Or should she bury her children? Either way you read it, he wasn't cursing him, chas v'shalom, but he used a very, very strong language. You want her to bury your children? How could she do such a thing?
When someone uses a lashon like that, usually the children get buried afterwards.
Says the Gemara, right?
Very dangerous.
Says the Gemara, Kulu Shnei de Rav Ada Rahava, as long as Rav Ada Rahava was alive, Lo Yikaim Le Zaira Le Ravuna. All Rav Huna's children died. But it's very interesting because it's mashma over here that once the gadol is nifter, the curse goes away. And I once heard from a very big Talmud Chacham that the same applies to bracha. He brought me rayas from different places, and I try to get it, not repeating somebody else, but it could be that once a gadol is nifter, oh yeah.
The curse of the rabbi. Yeah.
But that was a curse?
That was a bracha Rabbi Yosef gave. And then while he was alive, it was Mekuyim, and then after he passed away, it's not.
So anyways, from here you see this idea. I don't know if it works in brachas from this, but over here you see at least clause. As long as he was alive, the curse worked. Menachem Mendel Fencer tried to tell me that because he realized that Rav Huna was right in Shemayim, once he got up to Shemayim, he saw Rav Huna was right, so his payda went away. Okay, whatever you want to say. So, a lot of people say that because of this Gemara, that's why there's a minhag to make a suda by the chalaka, because you're celebrating the pace of the kid, and it's the opposite of the death of whatever that could cause that kind of thing. Okay, so the Ben Yehuda just says that he was basically asking him, why don't you stop your wife from doing it? And on that, Rav Huna said, Chayva does it. I made him a cha. I did whatever I could do, but it's her Chayva, and that's why he stuck in the word Chayva. Okay. Taisus points out here that's the concept of kishgaga sheyoitza milifnei hashalit. If somebody uses words have power, and you never know what happens. And the Marsha says in Moed Katan Daf Yutches, the Marsha says that sometimes people speak, and without them knowing, they have a nevuah in their words. And that's why you have to be careful what you say. That nevuah could come to fruition if you just say it. And the chinuch says that what differentiates human beings from animals is the koyach hadibur, and it's a koyach eloki. He says it's a koyach that we get from the Rebbeinu Shalom, and it connects us to the Rebbeinu Shalom in a way. And it goes on in the whole thing that our words have powers like we don't know, and that's why tzaddikim's words are even more powerful because they're more connected to the Rebbeinu Shalom. So we got to be careful what we say. Says the Gemara, you see that Rav Huna was scared to shave his own kid. He made his wife do it. Why? Because shaving the entire head is considered akafa. Rav Ada certainly holds that. So where's the machlokes? Rav Huna savar lo takivu pas roishchem v'lo tashchis pas zikonecha. It says in the pasuk both things. So you learned, kol sheyesh le'ashchasa yesh le'akafa. A man who's also for him to destroy his beard, can't destroy the payas. They don't have a beard, and if they do, it's mutter for them to shave it. So they depend on each other. Let's see this chart again. He learns it as a drasha, that it goes also not only for the person that gives the haircut, but the person getting the haircut. Wherever the person getting the haircut is chayiv, makif nami mechayiv. So we need to point out, it's very, very important to understand the sugya. What was Rav Ada's problem with Ravuna? Rav Ada holds that everybody could shave a cotton. So why was he upset at Ravuna? Why did he curse him? Because, says Taisvis, he was going l'shitasai. You l'shitascha, it should be aser. If you hold that a man cannot shave a cotton, then a woman can't either. According to you, it's a big problem. Not according to me. According to me, I could shave a cotton. Let's just do 2 more lines and get here, and we'll start Shachars. By cotton, and therefore he holds. So let's just go back 1 second. Let's just to do a review. According to Rav Huna, a woman could shave a man, a woman could shave a cotton, and even a gadol. The gadol cannot shave it; he cannot allow it. But if he sat in the chair, the woman is not over. But a man cannot shave a cotton. On that, Rav argues and says a man could shave. Everybody could shave a cotton. But a woman cannot shave other people. That's the bottom line. Rabbi Yisai, have a wonderful day.